So hello everyone and welcome to Sunday's service. And we are going to start today with a little of music, fun, and plenty of smiles. So here we go. Oops. All right, it'll start. Oops. I'm getting all of these messages in my computer now for security. Okay. You guys can hear me though, right?
Yep.
How about this? Some things may be a little strange for us, but listen to this.
Yeah, we could start a new direction, affecting the future ahead. Spreading smiles from miles, a new kind of trend.
Want a new style? How about this? Let's talk about something that's courageous. How about this?
Let's talk about something that's outrageous.
Put this at the top of your list.
Yeah, we could start a new direction, affecting the future ahead.
Spreading smiles for miles, a new kind of trend. Want a new style? Hey,
How about this?
come on, hit me up with the pickup, y'all. You're stuck and gonna sit at home.
Live it up, live it up, live it up for me.
You're not alone. We can let this world on warranty. Pick it up, just pick it up. Take this shot with me. Not something else, 'cause this world is really needing your help. Spread a smile and nothing more, and we'll show this world it can be restored. You want a smile? How about this? Oh, yeah. If you're stuck and gonna sit at home, live it up, live it up, live it up with me. We can live this world while quarantined. Pick it up, just pick it up.
Take this shot
With me, yeah.
with something else.
Spread a smile and nothing more. Show this world it can be restored. Keep moving on, keep moving on. How about this?
So hello everybody, and we are going to start today with the Creed of the Church of Scientology.
We of the Church believe that all men of whatever race, color, or creed
We're created with equal rights.
that all men have inalienable rights,
their own religious practices and their performance,
that all men have inalienable rights
to their own lives, that all men have inalienable rights
to their sanity,
that all men have inalienable rights
to their own defense,
that all men have inalienable rights
to conceive, choose, assist, or support
their own organizations, churches, and governments,
that all men have inalienable rights to think freely, to talk freely,
to write freely their own opinions,
and to counter or utter
or write upon the opinions of others,
that all men have inalienable rights to the creation of their own kind,
that the souls of men have the rights of men,
that the study of the mind
and the healing of mentally caused ills
should not be alienated from religion
or condoned in non-religious fields,
and that no agency less than God
has the power to suspend or set aside these rights, overtly or covertly.
And we at the church believe
that man is basically good,
that he is seeking to survive,
that his survival depends upon himself and upon his fellows,
and his attainment of brotherhood with the universe. And we of the church believe
that the laws of God forbid man
to destroy
his own kind,
to destroy the sanity of another,
to destroy or enslave another's soul,
to destroy or reduce the survival of one's companions or one's group.
And we of the church believe
that the spirit can be saved, and that the spirit alone may save or heal the body.
And how appropriate to follow up the creed of the Church of Scientology with today's sermon. Today's sermon that discusses the mission of Scientology. So this is what LRH says. Scientology and Scientologists are no revolutionaries. They are evolutionaries. They do not stand for overthrow. They stand for the improvement of what we have. Scientology is not political. When the fires of ideology threaten to consume us all, it is time to forget politics and seek reason. The mission of Scientology is not conquest. It is civilization. It is a war upon stupidity, the stupidity which leads us downward. I'll give that to you again. The stupidity which leads us toward the last war of all. To a Scientologist, the real barbarism of Earth is stupidity. Only in the black muck of ignorance can the irrational conflicts of ideologies germinate. Government, to a Scientologist, is a thing of reason, and all problems of government can be resolved by reason. Perhaps in yesterday, one could afford the exploitation of ignorance for the sake of fancied gain. Perhaps in yesterday, the study of the mind and reason was something for a summer afternoon. Perhaps in that same yesterday, one amongst us could afford his irresponsibility and hate. But that was yesterday. Today, exploited ignorance, a dilettante attitude towards existing knowledge, a refusal to assume one's role as a responsible member of the human race may be punished in the searing thunderclap of H-bombs released by men whose intelligence and statecraft were incapable of a better solution. Ignorant people elect ignorant rulers, and only ignorant rulers lead to war. And this time will lead to a war which brings silence forever after to earth. As your associates, their homes, their children, their possessions, and all their future lie ending in a radioactive street, there won't be time for us to wish we'd worked harder, being less easily dissuaded from pressing our arguments. Some say they have no fear of death. until the midnight of their dying is at hand. They say different then. Those who strike at this work out of home, I'll give that to you again, those who strike at this work out of some black well of ideological misorientation, some antisocial craveness, strike at the heart of man. For man has been a long time on the track to reason, and Scientology can take him there. There is not much earth time. We must work. The criminal is ignorant and stupid. Ignorance and stupidity may therefore be called criminal. Cause man to lay aside his hates and listen. Freedom from ignorance is at hand. Perhaps that was the kingdom of heaven. There is not much earth time in which to distribute this knowledge. This is the solution to our barbarism, out of which we would lose all Scientology works. I'll give that again. This is the solution. I'm very emotional reading this, and I'm missing a couple of words or punctuations. This is the solution to our barbarism, out of this which we would lose all. Scientology works. We must work, all of us, not to harangue man toward impossible freedoms, but to make man civilized enough to be worthy of his freedom. It's time for man grew up. That is what we have in mind. For there can be but weeping in the night where ignorance, factionalism, hatred, and exploitation are served by the most ferocious and final weapon of all, the H-bomb. Change no man's religion. Change no man's politics. Interrupt the sovereignty of no nation. Instead, teach man to use what he has and what he knows to the factual creation, within any political reference, a civilization on earth for the first time. And so we work. You can help in this mission by becoming a Scientology volunteer minister. Read and study the Scientology handbook. In it, you will find methods to improve every aspect of life and become able to do your part to help man grow up and create a true civilization. I could not find any other sermon more applicable than what is happening right now. So hear me out on this for a moment. LRH is describing there the H-bomb. I can take that H-bomb and put in its place many of today's very significant problems of society. I can put in the place of H-bomb the people's destroying of the environment. I can put coronavirus. I can put wars around the globe. I can put people's starvation around the world, although there are so many resources for people to be able to survive only if they took that opportunity, or we gave them that opportunity. So at the same time, LRH is talking about using reason and expecting from the governments and the representatives of the governments reason. And I'm looking how our church has handled this entire pandemic, and I can see that management used reason in its direction to the churches around the globe. No matter how you cut it, the science says that this is a disease that affects the human body. Yes, Those OT superhumans absolutely can not be affected of it, perhaps. At the same time, we do not have right now in society, whatever it is, 6 billion Scientologists, neither 6 billion OTs. We do not. We have people with many reactive minds, and those reactive minds lead them to be constantly PTS on their environment and susceptible to those diseases. So very, very intelligently and properly, management using reason, as LRH described in this reference, the Mission of Scientology, to put specific guidelines on how we will protect our bodies, how we will not spread the disease. And as a matter of fact, those specific guidelines have helped to protect Scientologists and especially Sea Org members. As far as I understand, there are no Sea Org members that have been affected by the coronavirus because they follow these guidelines that management put forward using this reason. So I am referring you to this last statement that LRH made that says, change no man's religion, change no man's politics, interrupt the sovereignty of no nation. Instead, teach man to use what he has and what he knows to the factual creation within any political reference, a civilization on earth for the first time. I don't know, I don't care about political leanings of Scientologists or of the society, but I know that where stupidity prevails, stupid actions prevail. And where reason prevails, then a survival of that group and a survival of that society prevails. So let's try to bring within the groups, political or non, that we are associated, to bring within those groups reason, utilizing reason, so that those groups can survive instead of those groups sometimes playing distractive role in society. So that is my sermon and my comments today. And definitely I am going to ask you guys to offer any comments or anything you would like to say and share. You can obviously unmute your microphones and you can speak. Brian, who's that? Marie?
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to Dimi for holding these every week. I think it's so important for us to like stay calm and connected through the org and source and everything, especially, you know, like you were saying, we don't have 1,000,000 OTs yet out there. And I think like it just makes us more powerful to be in communication with each other. It just makes us that much more of like a driving force of sanity. So I think things like this that happen so regularly are so important. So thank you for doing this every week.
Thank you, Marie. Yeah. Thank you, appreciate it. Anybody else would like to make any comments or discuss or anything you guys would like to share?
Thank you, Dimi, for your persistence.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian, for the acknowledgement.
I like it.
Awesome.
And it is needed.
Awesome.
It does help. It helps me to get to talk to you once a week.
Awesome. And guys, by the way, any you know that any sermons or anything that any Sunday services that you have missed, if you go to these links that I'm sending with the recordings, if you go to one of them and you can click, you can see them all basically. You can click subscribe on YouTube, and we have a Long Island Org Sunday service YouTube channel, and all of these are there, so you can subscribe to that channel. All right.
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Mitch, we can. Thank you.
So, yeah, I wanted to really thank Dimi for all he's done. He's always doing wonderful stuff, and Sunday service is definitely a big part of it. You know, it's a very apropos sermon to what's going on. Also, I just wanted everybody to think, you know, we have this brief breath in eternity, and we do need to take advantage of it. You know, civilizations, I think Ron says, are frail things, and they don't last. So here it is. There's a lot of bridge to do, and you know, people should be continually flowing towards it, because you know, you put a flow out there and you get there, you know, you'll attain it. So, you know, consider that, and thank you again, Dimi.
You're welcome, Mitch, and let me just vouch for what you said. Right now, what every Scientologist should be looking at is, okay, what is my next step at the bridge? My next step is that. And it doesn't have to be only on the processing side. It has to be also matching the processing side with the training side. And as a trained person, as a trained auditor up to level 4, I can tell you what a difference training has made in my life and in the lives of others around me. Yes, training helped me tremendously to gain the things I have gained, going from essentially from OT1 to OT7 now at record time, or for me, record time at least, very fast. And those of you who have, I mean, you know when I started, I went to go to the level in January of 2018, and from January, February essentially of 2018 until June, and started late February. So March, April, May, June, not even June, 3.5 months, I went from OT1 to OT7. Got into the level because of the training. But this is not only the story. Guys, wherever I go out there, when there is a conversation with my friends or family, whenever there is a conversation and a problem comes up, I can't tell you how many times the people around me say right in the middle of dinner, oh, you know what? Ask Dimi about that, because he knows the stuff from Scientology. People say that, you know, he says, no. He says, no, ask Dimi about the solution because he knows the stuff from Scientology. Yes, guys, this happens all the time. It's not like it happened one time. It happens all the time for so many topics. And I offer my guidance, and I offer, you know, the tech I can to these people, and I disseminate along that. So training, man, it's so appropriate. So everybody should think of what is their next training step, flow for it. Why? Because we gotta keep these freaking orgs to survive. So we need the funds to survive. So flow towards them, and the moment the orgs are open, just jump on it and go and complete your next step. I know that as soon as the org opens, I'm going to be completing my internship, my level 4 internship, and I'll be very, very happy for you guys to be around and see you and working together on all this good stuff.
Yeah, you know, it just makes sense to me what you're saying. Like, that's what happens to me in areas of my work that I am trained in. And then, like, it obviously would make sense that would happen in areas of life that Scientology covers, which it covers a lot. I don't know all of it, but I'm sure it covers, you know, it definitely covers the human problems we have. And, you know, it's like, oh yeah, but Dimi knows that answer. And they don't care where it comes from. I even saw a clip on some media channel where they were actually promoting, I'll send it to you. It's actually really cool.
Yeah.
Like actually saying positive things about Scientology and Tom Cruise and how that guy is like a brilliant, if anything, he's a brilliant guy, but he's a brilliant ad for Scientology because he's, you know, he knows what he's talking about and he's very in and trained and with the program, you know, but people see that. And it disseminates, like you said, that disseminates. So yeah, I'm looking forward to continuing training as soon as these orgs open up.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brian, for everything you say and everything you do. So, all right, here is our little video on personal integrity, which is always absolutely amazing to play for you.
What is true for you is what you have observed yourself. And when you lose that, you have lost everything. What is personal integrity? Personal integrity is knowing what you know. What you know is what you know. And to have the courage to know and say what you have observed. And that is integrity. And there is no other integrity. Of course, we can talk about honor, truth, nobility, all these things as esoteric terms. But they would all be covered very well if what we really observed was what we observed. That we took care to observe what we were observing. That we always observed to observe. And not necessarily maintaining a skeptical attitude, a critical attitude, or an open mind. Not necessarily maintaining these things at all. But certainly maintaining sufficient personal integrity and sufficient personal belief and confidence in self and courage that we can observe what we observe and say what we have observed. Nothing in Scientology is true for you unless you have observed it. And it is true according to your observation. That is all.
All right. Big reminder, on Monday at 6:30 p.m. 6:30 p.m. OT committee meeting. So tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. OT committee meeting. You have the link. Please join us there. Is there any other announcement?
Demi?
Yep.
I have an announcement.
Yes.
Next Friday, we're going to be having graduation as usual, but I don't know if you guys know or remember JB Bolvadin. He's going to be doing a really awesome seminar as part of graduation, and he's calling it Marketing Mastery, how to dominate your marketing space. So he wants to, help any local business owners. And marketing was the subject he chose. We did a survey, people wanted to hear about business, and he chose the subject of marketing. So it's going to be really awesome. It's next Friday at 7:30 on Zoom. If you guys can make it, it will be phenomenal. He's excited about it. I'm excited about it. That's it.
Awesome. Thank you, Marie. All right. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap up with a prayer for total freedom. May the author of the universe enable all men to reach an understanding of their spiritual nature. May awareness and understanding of life expand so that all may come to know the author of the universe. And may others also reach this understanding that brings total freedom. At this time, we think of those whose liberty is threatened, of those who have suffered imprisonment for their beliefs, of those who are enslaved or martyred, and for all those who are brutalized, trapped, or attacked. We pray that human rights will be preserved so that all people may believe and worship freely, so that freedom will once again be seen in our land. Freedom from war and property and want. I'll give that again. Freedom from war and poverty and want. Freedom to be, freedom to do, and freedom to have. Freedom to use and understand man's potential, the potential that is God-given and God-like, and freedom to achieve that understanding and awareness. That is total freedom. May God let it be so. LRH. So thank you all for attending today, and I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Meet again with all of us on Monday at OT committee meeting, on Friday at graduation, and then next Sunday at Sunday service. Take care, everyone.
Bye, Demi.
Bye.
Thanks, Demi.